What is something you have always regretted doing? Not listening to my doctor's warnings and not taking care of my diabetes from 15 to 25. Since March last year I have had an op to restore vision in my right eye, an op to do the same in my left, an op to reattach the retina in my left eye and currently waiting to have another in my right eye to restore vision and an op to remove the silicone oil that is currently holding the retina in my left eye in place. Was completely blind for 2 months and only now have a small amount of vision in my right eye. The left eye has just enough vision for me to walk around without hurting myself until the oil comes out. Listen to your doctor's kids. Not protecting my hearing. I'm 52 and have had tinnitus for 20 years now. I should have worn earplugs when mowing the grass, going to concerts or loud movies. I shouldn't have turned my Walkman up to 11. I regret not doing a fuller investigation of career options before going to college or making the effort it would have taken to change course mid-career. I just retired from a career that was satisfying but probably not my best match. As a college senior, I was an advisor to this suite of freshmen. 3 of them played these stupid pranks on 2 of them for the entire school year. It started as jokes but it ended up just being harassment. Both of the harassed suite mates transferred the next year. I tried to reason with the 3 pranksters/harassers, but now, I regret not confronting them instead of trying to reason with them. At some point, if people are intentionally causing suffering, a harsh response is the correct response. I was just a dumb college 4th year but I wish I had had the insight to do more. Marrying the wrong person. Be sure you really know who you are marrying. The family, the friends, the acquaintances, when they're angry, sad, happy, how they spend money, how they save money, because you could end up like me. 31 years unhappily married, and we have a special needs daughter who needs us together in the same house for reasons I can't go into here, so I'm locked in, and so is she. Learn from my mistake. I regret and don't regret this one. I was 13 at a theme park with my class. It was our last day of school so we went to a big park to ride some rides. For no particular reason, other than thinking I was funny, I kept telling kids in my class don't die as they would climb onto a roller coaster. Some kids looked scared, some laughed. Finally a 20-something guy with his girlfriend also in line turned to me and shouted, "Kid, shut the fuck up." His girlfriend quickly tried to calm him down and said he's just a kid. Boy did he look pissed. For me, it was like I had been slapped out of a trance. I thought holy shit. I'm annoying? Best thing to ever happen to me I think. But damn do I cringe when I think about it. Not spending a lot of time with my dad. He died when I was 18 and before that I was too cool to hang out with him much. I regret it so much now. He technically died from kidney failure after 20 plus years with a heart transplant. I ended up needing a heart transplant 2 years after he died and had no one that could relate to what I was going through, because he was gone. And I never talked much about his transplant with him. He also never even came to my high school graduation cause he was working so he never really got to see me accomplish anything in life. I was just a stupid teen that was too cool to hang out with my dad, even though we did so much together when I was a kid. I miss him every day. Please spend time with your parents and loved ones, you never know how long they'll be there. Sharing health issues or personal issues with workmates. Quit a college program for a girl. Just stopped showing. It wrecked my grades and took forever to complete my degree after. Drugs and drinking all day. When my parents split up my mom had to raise us by herself and we were really poor. Eventually we had to get on food stamps to survive. My mom was devastated. She was a very proud woman and was working 2 jobs but it wasn't enough and it absolutely crushed her to have to get assistance. It made her feel like a failure who couldn't take care of her own kids. I remember we were in the grocery store and getting ready to pay. She was going to use food stamps to pay and she was so ashamed that she turned to me and said, "If you don't want to stand in line with me you don't have to." She was trying to spare me the embarrassment. So I didn't stand with her. I went off and looked at a toy or something. I remember looking back at her. She was sheepishly fixing her hair and trying not to look poor as she worked up the courage to face the cashier. I have regretted walking away so many times over the years. I was just a kid, but I wish I could go back in time to go stand next to her and tell her how proud I am to be her son and how thankful I was for the sacrifices she made just to keep food on the table for us. It honestly breaks my heart every time I think about it. About years 18 to 26 is all regret. I try to tell myself that if I hadn't lived those experiences, I wouldn't have met and married my husband, so going back to undo things if I could, would actually ruin the life I have now. Edit. I had no idea my post would resonate with so many. Thank you for the awards. This may sound odd, but saying yes over and over again to everything my parents want, it's really hard for me now to say what I really want because I was always like, "Yeah sure mom and dad, I'll do that so you are happy," instead of doing what made me happy. Edit. I know edits suck, but I feel less bad now. Thank you everyone. I guess we all need to go our own ways and sometimes say no. I know this is a relatively small thing, But when I was around 10 and I was on public transport with my dad one time, he said he'd like to read to me, like the little shit I was at the time. Not only did I focus on playing Lego Batman on my DS as he was reading to me, but I actually told him I was going to do that. The audacity. I've always been lucky that he was and still is the kind of guy who doesn't take that kind of stuff personally and was totally fine with this arrangement. But I just wish I gave his gesture anywhere near the respect it deserved. I rarely even looked at him as he read. I'll go to conferences or collections of study sessions or something, and I'll be like, I'm going to go to X. Then, when X comes along, someone will ask me, so, you coming to X? And I'll be like, sorry, but I'm busy, when I'm probably doing nothing. I always regret it. They're always really interesting sessions with people I would have wanted to meet and learn from, and what did I accomplish from not going? Nothing. Friend at school told me if I cut all my eyelashes off they would grow longer. They did not. I saw a film where the main character had a cool neck tattoo, so a week later I booked in to get something similar done. The tattoo artist was meant to be a professional but it looks like he got lazy halfway through and really fucked it up. So for the past 6 years I've been stuck with 16 rather large black square boxes on my neck, which look like the Cornish flag when I wear a shirt. Now I'm going through laser therapy to get it removed. Now I can tell you, I've had my leg ripped off in a motorcycle crash and my arm crushed in another. I had to be given 4 ketamine by the doctors as I was in that much pain. Laser removal hurts so much more. I'm only 4/10 sessions in. It's clearing up nicely but damn it hurts. The tattoo costs £90. The laser removal so far has cost £600. Edit. If you'd like to see it, Google Eric from Divergent. That's what it was meant to look like. The laser removal is worth all the pain and you can get creams that really do make it better. I've just not tried them. I divorced, rather than stay in my marriage only for the sake of the kids. He married an abusive woman. Even though it was his bad choice, she caused both my children trauma that still affects them in adulthood. And I always question whether I could have done something to avoid that happening. I should note that I did call Child Protective Services. They believed my ex and his wife's lies, and nothing came of it. Sending a picture of myself in a bra to some dickhead on the internet when I was 16. This will take some explaining, so there's this game I play in public places. It's called the Pat Johnson. Essentially, you go up to someone who looks nothing like you, and tell them they look like Pat Johnson. When they ask who that is, you say I'm Pat Johnson. I did this to a random guy in a public bathroom, thinking I was only going to be in that town for a week. I eventually got a place here, and became kind of friends with the guy I spoke to, but he still thinks I'm called Pat Johnson. I have to pretend that's my name whenever I see him. Losing my virginity because I was curious and everyone was doing it, rather than because I met someone I liked. My first real sexual experience feels more closely tied to my first orgasm, but still, I wish younger me hadn't rushed, or been exposed to a lot of adult experiences. I was on a first date with a girl and we didn't hit it off well at all. We were at a local dive bar having some drinks. She was nice, but then conversation wasn't interesting to me and I wasn't attracted to her. It clearly wasn't going anywhere, but we were having an enjoyable time at least. Anyways, there were 2 older attractive women dancing by themselves, having a great time while I was having drinks with this girl. My date went to the bathroom and I went to the bar to get a couple drinks. While there, one of the older ladies came up and tells me we're celebrating my birthday tonight and we're going to another bar. Want to join us? We have a taxi outside. I wanted to go so bad, but I couldn't do it. I told her I appreciated the offer, wished her happy birthday, paid for their round and went back to my table. It's 20 years later and I still think about that stupid night. Thanks for listening. Subscribe for more daily videos.